aspects in our society. Man is a rational being, and because of this feature of man, he is capable of reasoning. Not just that, but reasoning in such a way that he comes up with ideas which tend to shape his way of behaving towards people, things, and situations. As complex as we perceive ourselves to be, we often define others merely by their most distinct social groups. In our presentation, we focus on three major issues: stereotype, bias, and prejudice.
Let's talk about stereotypes. Stereotypes are characteristics that society instinctively attributes to groups of people who classify them according to their age, weight, occupation, skin color, and gender, just to mention a few. In summary, stereotype is, in fact, shortcuts taken unconsciously to help people make decisions easily and quickly.
Let's brief you on the main difference between gender stereotype and gender stereotyping. Gender stereotype is a generalized view about the characteristics that ought to be possessed by women or men. It can be both positive or negative. That is, for a positive aspect, women are nurturing or women are weak. That's the negative aspect. In summary, gender stereotype is a belief that may cause its holder to make assumptions about members of the subject group, women or men, while gender stereotyping is a practice of applying that stereotypical belief to a person. Gender stereotype and human rights. Gender stereotype is usually wrong when human rights are being violated. For example, on women are not allowed to pursue their careers due to the way they appear or their weaknesses. Sometimes gender stereotype usually deals when an individual refuses to give an opportunity to another to be able to stand for what he or she wants in life.
Hello, my fellow classmates. I'm here to talk on bias. I'll start by what is bias. Bias is an attitude, a point of view that colors our judgment. Bias means a predisposition to see things or people in a certain way. You can be biased to people and predisposed to see them in a positive light. Likewise, you can be predisposed to see others in a negative light based on their appearance. Bias is an internal belief. It is a mental prejudgment, positive or negative, made about an individual.
About what the judges should do due to court environment. They should exhibit leadership and set a standard for non-biased communication, and also to disposition into the courtroom and judiciary position. They should be mindful of bias and even in their chambers. They should also treat all litigants, attorneys, and court employees with respect, fairness, and dignity. They should also correct discriminatory attitudes or comments made by any participants, discuss biased behavior with individuals who may be unaware of its impact, and also emphasizes that such behavior will not be tolerated in the court. And they should also strive to be fair and accurate. Good intentions are not enough of offset implicit bias. Thank you.
Hi guys, I talk about the disadvantages of bias and prejudice. Now, first of all, the main drawback from bias would be being wrong and obtaining bad results from your decision. Now, the type of decision we take in life determines the output we obtain. First of all, example that maybe you are having an issues, like you are trying to have like a decision that you can take. Maybe if you take a negative decision, it will affect you. It will affect you morally. It will also affect maybe like your working experience and maybe like your clinical analysis in a lab. Example like you taking analysis on a patient. Maybe like you may obtain bad results from the patient at the end. You give the person the wrong drugs. All these results from bias and prejudice. Now, secondly, bias in research can cause distortion result and wrong conclusion. Example like maybe someone comes to you telling you that he or she is sick, and you okay, let me try to take like analysis on the person to know what is disturbing the person. But at the end of the day, you bring out the wrong data. Those data that you bring in can help you kill the patient. And also maybe when unconscious, bias is not addressed, it affects the moral and the overall experience of the workers. Example, you take an analysis on the person or on an individual can lead to a death of some patient because you'll be able to give the person the wrong drugs, and so on and so forth.
Thought or opinion of someone based on the specific culture, ethnicity, gender, or religion to which that person belongs. Some types of prejudice are: we have the racism, you have gender identity, you have classism, sexism, and religious discrimination. Move over to the causes. Some causes of prejudice are you have inequalities in our societies. Today, there are many inequalities everywhere you go. People do gender inequality, they do sex inequality, tribe, nepotism, even in our government, we find it everywhere we go. The second one we have ideas learned about people, groups from family members, friends, or the media. Not spending a lot of time with people who are different from you in some way. Not being open to different ideas and ways of living. I would like to explain these few points of mine in the sense that we travel every day, we meet different places, we acquaint ourselves. So trying to put pride in front of you will not help you in any way. You need to lower down your pride, to learn from people so that you'll be equipped and learn in our society. Then I would like to give some of the consequences of prejudice, which are victims of prejudice may report feeling anxious, depressed, or stressed due to the fact that people tend to be prejudiced in our society, they oppress others, they stress people, and they make people feel anxious. So to conclude, I would like to say that no matter where you find yourself, in any situation you are, try to lower down your pride, acquaint yourself with people, learn from others, and let's build a better society. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm here to talk about the prevention of prejudice. Just like my fellow colleague said, prejudice have several disadvantages. So we need to look for ways to minimize it so that some people will not be feeling out of the society. So the way we can reduce prejudice is by interacting with people from other social groups fluently, like we interact with people from our social group. Then nextly, we should implement laws and regulations that will treat everybody fairly and equally. And moreover, we should love one another like our God in heaven love both all of us equally.
Stereotype, bias, and prejudice are not good practices in our society, as they bring conflict in groups, any groups, religious and other parties. Bias and prejudice are not good practice since it brings conflict among many others. That should be our dream, just like Martin Luther. Martin Luther, a great philosopher of moral leaders, that is something in his speech that talk about I have a dream. His dream was to have a nation that these four little could live without being judged by skin color, gender, and age, which is now our reality nowadays as bias. To conclude, stereotype, prejudice, and discrimination create physical and emotional distance between members of different social groups. Might form of bias and unconditional avoidance and interaction lacking warmth and gravity.
Thank you all for your keen attention. We love you. Thank you.